The next question is E21.11. A lease agreement between Moni Leasing and Choi Group is described in E21.10. So instructions refer to the data in E21.10 and do the following for the lesser. So round all numbers to the nearest yin. So A. Discuss the nature of this lease for Muni and compute the amount of the lease receivable at the commencement of the lease. So because the lease agreement has the bargain purchase option and collectibility of the lease payment is probable, this lease will be classified as the sales type lease, or in other words, the finance lease. So the amount of the lease receivable is the sum of the present value of the annual rental payment, okay, which is 88,278. Just use the usual present value formula, and then plus the present value of the bargain purchase option. Yeah, so actually this is just the other way around from the lessee's lease liability calculation. So that's for A. And then B, prepare a lease amortization schedule for Muni for the 5-year lease term. For this one, you just do the usual lease amortization schedule. So you'll start with 1st May of 2022 with 91,000 carrying amount of lease receivable and directly the lease payment at the commencement of the lease. So you just directly minus with the lease payment, and then you will continue for the next year with interest revenue from 8% of the carrying amount. And then this is the bargain purchase option, yeah, at the end of the contract. And then C, prepare the journal entries to reflect the signing of the lease agreement and to record the receipts and income related to this lease for the years 2022 and 2023. The lesser's accounting period ends on December 31st. Reversing entries are not used by Muni. Okay, so we will just record for 2022 at the commencement of the lease. So debit lease receivable 91,000, yeah, from this, and then credit sales 91,000, and then debit COGS 65,000, credit inventory 65,000. It is from the previous questions data. Okay, and then debit cash credit lease receivable for the first payment. Okay, so 20,472 or 20,471.96, and then we will record the interest revenue for the next year. Okay, but only 8/12. Okay, because from May to December. So debit lease receivable, credit interest revenue 3,761. For 2023, we will record the payment, okay, which is debit cash 20,472. We will continue the interest revenue from the previous period. So only 4/12 from 5,642, because the company Muni doesn't use the reversing entries, so we need to calculate the 4/12 instead of just reversing this entry. Okay, the lease receivables is from the 20,472 minus the 1,881. You will get this 18,591. And then you will do the adjusting entries again, yeah, for the next year's interest revenue. So still 8/12 times 4,456. So debit lease receivable, credit interest revenue 2,971. And then D, suppose the collectibility of the lease payment was not probable for Muni, prepare all necessary journal entries for the company in 2022. So if the collectibility is not probable, therefore Muni can only recognize the lease income when the lessee or Choi makes the payment. So cannot recognize the whole lease receivable, but we can just record it per payment from the lessee. So it will just like become similar to the operating lease. Okay, so the journal entries for 2022, you will debit cash, credit unearned lease revenue at the beginning. Okay, 20,472, and then at the end of the year, remember to make the adjusting entries, okay, to recognize the 8 months of the lease revenue. So debit unearned lease revenue, credit lease revenue 13,646.